It's that time of year again. The time where the festivities are summoned once again from the cave that they usually spend roughly 11 months of the year in. It's the time where parents desperately search around either the shops or popularshopping-site.com in a vague attempt to make their child or children's or vague under 18 relatives' day while trying to resist the endeavour of having to buy the latest game console. And of course, it's time in which we all gather around the television to see the newest festive special of BBC's Doctor Who. Or at least that's how it should be anyway. Christmas and New Year do feel rather subdued this year, and it is a most unusual year to say the least, with a fully justifiable reason. It's really quite crazy. But fortunately, the return of Doctor Who is still a constant, even if it is on a different day now. I know it's not the same as it being on Christmas Day, but at least we've still got them coming. And sometimes, the Doctor has a fancy, or not so fancy, outfit exclusive to it. Isn't that just joyful? Well, today we're going to go down and talk about these fancy Christmas/New Year exclusive outfits of the Doctor. There's a fair bit to discuss about these many lovely outfits, starting with the 10th Doctor's joyful Arthur Dentish get-up in the 2005 Christmas special, The Christmas Invasion, straight up to the 13th Doctor's not so joyful prison outfit in 2021's Revolution of the Daleks. Well, without further ado, let's get to it. 2005, The Christmas Invasion. We have a post-regeneration Doctor, and of course that means he ends up spending quite a bit of time having to recuperate and regather his strength. Naturally, he needs some appropriate clothing for that, and thanks to Jackie Tyler, he gets a good dressing gown and some striped pyjamas. And as I said before, the 10th Doctor really does rock the Arthur Dent look. If you don't know who Arthur Dent is, then do look into Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. He wears a dressing gown too. It certainly gives the Doctor a more enigmatic vibe, seeing as he's still in his early days, and the costume doesn't necessarily define him by any stretch of the imagination, really. He still hasn't quite ascertained his identity yet at this point. But, naturally, I'm probably getting carried away. I know it's just a dressing gown and pyjamas, but nothing wrong with looking into something, even if it is a bit too deeply, eh? That said, my English A-level studies aside, it does telegraph the look he goes for. The pyjamas being representative of the suit, and the dressing gown being representative of the coat. It's the same sort of silhouette when you break it down. So if you ask me, it's certainly a pretty rad outfit, and a worthy one for the Doctor to have his first proper heroic moment in. 2007, Voyage of the Damned. Okay, I know this isn't exactly a festive outfit, or indeed a unique one to the story, but let's be honest here. Despite appearing twice before, the tuxedo look of the 10th Doctor is definitely associated with this story the most. This story was a gigantic adventure that scored New Who's largest viewing figure, 13.3 million, which is pretty insane. Thanks for that, Kylie. It's still a fever dream that Kylie Minogue is a canon Doctor Who one-shot companion. It's insanity. But I digress. Anyway, the Doctor wears a stylish tuxedo suit with all the standard trimmings that you'd come to expect from a style that is essentially timeless. But he simply wears a black suit, a standard white shirt, and a black bow tie. And he certainly does look pretty stylish in it. It's a combo that you can never really go wrong in. But the thing that sets it apart from the standard is the choice of footwear. Even when formal, 10 always goes with the Converse, and it suits his character to a T, despite the fact that something bad happens to him every time he wears it. I mean, he's not wrong, but it's not the tuxedo's fault that he's a danger magnet. The thing that gives it even more of a great vibe, though, is the undone bow tie. I mean, I know the episode certainly went a bit heavy on the, religious allegories, but I just see cool stuff and I just enjoy looking at it, bruh. That's all there is to it for me. He says, having just overanalyzed the dressing gown. Touché. Anyway, for the remainder of the specials, the Doctor typically wore his standard suit, and the next festive outfit wouldn't arrive until his successor did. So let's look at the 11th Doctor's best-known Christmas look. 2012, The Snowmen, and 2013, Time of the Doctor. Now this is an outfit of incredibly elaborate proportions. It's crazy how much of a change this is from the standard 11th Doctor tweed jacket style that dominated series 5, 6 and 7A, and this expresses itself as very much a precursor to the style that the 11th Doctor would come to adapt in series 7B. This was this particular Doctor's true Christmas outfit, worn for 2 consecutive specials. We have the long burgundy Victorian frock coat, which is simply marvellous, with the frog fastenings on the side, really giving it that bit of a regal edge, along with, of course, the fur collar. The shirt that is worn here is very reminiscent of the Series 5 scroll stripe shirts that used to be worn, albeit not exactly the same, but it's similar. And of course, the main difference between the variants seen in the Snowmen and Time of the Doctor come from the torso. We have a tie and a burgundy waistcoat in the Snowmen, which then progressed to a bow tie, versus a bow tie and a much deeper, darker purple, if not near black, waistcoat in Time of the Doctor. Obviously, it was part of the character arc for the Doctor, given he had lost the ponds and subsequently given up on wearing bow ties until Clara came along. And then, he went back to wearing them and started with probably the best bow tie he has ever worn, the design also seen in Nightmare in Silver. I love this bow tie to death due to the elaborate design. It's so eye-catching and complex. As an old man, but before he becomes an ancient man, he ditches the waistcoat and it resembles an older combination of his Bells of St. John and his Series 5 looks. It's honestly marvellous, by far one of my fave sub-variants. This is a wonderfully elaborate costume in general, and honestly probably the most Christmassy one that the Doctor has ever worn, but it's not the last unique outfit that the Doctor has ever worn. Let's dive deeper into the future. 2017, Twice Upon a Time. Now I know this is technically a sub-variant that didn't even originate from this episode specifically, debuting in The Doctor Falls, but this is clearly the episode it was meant for. And frankly, I love this look. Following an explosion which destroyed multiple Cybermen, the Doctor's navy velvet coat has been left in tatters, having sustained severe damage which has frayed the material and exposed the lining. I mean, goodness me, this is some serious torture that has been done to the coat. This rather hilariously expensive coat. It makes your eyes water, honestly. But at the same time, it still looks visually appealing. I don't quite know how they managed it, but once again, the battle-damaged aesthetic remains a damn good look and vibe to have on. Let's be honest though, Capaldi just rocks it though. It honestly looks like it could have slotted in as a regular variant had it occurred earlier in his tenure, as there is a definite Untamed mod vibe coming from it, which pretty much goes with his aging punk rocker vibe that the Doctor started taking by the end of his tenure as well. I mean, he started wearing that very battered ancient linen coat, so you can't tell me this wouldn't have worked. It is spectacularly resonant, and frankly, he just looks like a boss, simple as that. And that's the thing with the 12th Doctor. I don't honestly think that there is a single outfit of his that he doesn't look good in. He just seems to suit them all to a T, and that is honestly down to Capaldi himself. He just knows how to pull off any outfit, and in ways, this was the perfect outfit for him to go out in. The battered old rocker, ready to head out for his finale. 2020. So alas, the switch happened. From a Christmas special to a New Year's special for the Jodie Whittaker era, which some say is a shame. Honestly, there are pros and cons to both days, but that's a discussion for another day. The weird thing about Spyfall is that it's clearly a season opener doubling as a New Year's special, or is it not? Who even knows, but either way, it's a special day episode, so I'm counting it. The 13th Doctor was usually known for her colourful clothing underneath her long grey hooded coat, but in Spyfall, when the time came to go to a formal event, the Doctor's penchant for dressing fancy remained pretty much the same as it was in her prior incarnations. As we can see, she dressed up in a very tuxedo-like outfit, which again serves as a counterpart to her own usual style of choice. Once again, bow ties have made a spectacular comeback for the first time since the 11th Doctor's tenure, and 13 wears a delightful black and gold one which looks really quite pretty. Along with this, she wears a long black overcoat which genuinely looks extremely posh, while remaining within the boundaries of her style somehow. It's both completely different to anything that she's worn by choice before, but harkens back to her time spent in Capaldi's badly damaged outfit from Twice Upon a Time, which was even further damaged for Whittaker. That coat couldn't catch a break, dear me. Either way, the slightly too short trousers and boots look maintains that familiar 13th Doctor style, and in thus doing so completely puts it at odds with the concept of the outfit being formal. But boy, that ain't necessarily a bad thing. It's like the 10th Doctor. It's the little twists and turns on a formal outfit that can retain that sense of identity that each Doctor has without drowning it out. It's at least a more positive look than what's to come after that. Oh boy. 2021. Revolution of the Daleks. And now to the upcoming New Year's special, and the Doctor is in a bit of a predicament to end all predicaments. but at least she ends up with another unique outfit for the special. Except, this one isn't quite so special, because she's in prison. The Doctor has now been saddled with a red jumpsuit, not terribly unlike the ones worn by the Tethered in the movie Us, but the key difference is that it's covered in writing on a black section. One can possibly theorize that this is to do with a registration number maybe? Or maybe it's the crimes she has been accused of, with the number being on the little bar on the side. It's all very interesting, and we're no doubt very close to finding out what the truth is about it all. The alien writing is just especially fascinating. So there we have it. These are some of the highlights of the Doctor's unique costumes over the course of the festive episodes of Modern Who. I certainly hope you enjoyed this one. It was quite fun to revisit these costumes, especially as we draw closer to the 16th year of Modern Who. There's 10 more to go, friends, and then we'll have drawn level with Classic Who. It feels closer than it should, which is quite surreal. Now, where to go from here? Well, I can tell you that I have a brand new updated festive how to cosplay in the works, and I'm hoping to get it out to you guys either before Christmas or before the new year at the very least. I'm also working on something else a bit more audio based, but more on that later. Anyway, what are your favourite festive costumes that the Doctor wore? What's your favourite special? Or what's your least favourite one? Feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Before I go though, I just want to point you in the direction of something that I'm very proud to be a part of. DW 2012 has released a brand new teaser trailer for Series 5, starring myself as the Purple Doctor. Please feel free to give it a watch for your first glimpse of the new series that will be coming next year. We're still on a production halt due to the Pan-D, but rest assured as soon as things allow us to get going, we'll be going at it at full throttle. I hope you'll enjoy it as much as we've enjoyed making it. Anyway, until next time, see ya!